Cigar with the doses and bats. Guantanamo still look through me, that is facts. It's GG5 now till I take a darn nap. Cops taking photos of all of my tats. List on my record, they profiling us. Right in my crib, but they come up with none. First time around, I was stashing it.
Today, we're going to teach you how to tune a drag car in a way that you've probably never tuned one before. We're going to actually show you how to become fast. Have a little bit of behind that sumbitch when it launches. Yeah, I might get you right. God damn it, I ain't gonna give it all to you now, you know. I'm gonna lead you to the kitchen, but I ain't gonna open the refrigerator for you. You feel me? You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, got the homie with me, man. You know? We're gonna do some runs for y'all. Some good shit. Hope y'all paying attention to what I'm doing to this whip as it gets built. This bitch gonna be fast. Real fast. Yo, I let that shit get. God damn. Oh yeah, you've been tuning. So, like I said, let's get the transmission inside of here. Let's get the diff in here. We're gonna lock the diff in the rear. Do that on every last one of my drag builds. Reason we're choosing to do the Supra, we've already got supercars built, of course, or Supras, however you want to put it. But the matter is that there's a lot of people that struggle with building these specific cars because of the amount of power that they put out and then the amount of boost lag that they have. There's a lot of guys that don't understand the difference between twin turbos and a huge ass single turbo. And just to give you an idea, a single turbo that is extremely large, the larger the turbo for it to be a single style, the bigger the boost lag window is, right? So, meaning when you launch this Supra off the line, this Supra has a lot of boost lag. The boost tends to want to kick in a little bit later on this car than what it would on any other car that you tend to tune with a single turbo setup. There's still boost lag, you'll notice it, but it's not as bad as it is in the Supra. So you have to tune around that boost lag and make sure your first gear is linear to what the power band wants to do. I do not use a tuning window. I don't check the tire pressures and all this other bullshit. I don't do all of that. All I do is I heat my tires up and I tune my first gear. I recommend tuning just like this. Set your first gear the way that you want to put it. So if you want to run a 345, then you run a 345. You want to run a 360, that's what you do. We're going to start at the 350 first gear, okay? 350. What we're going to do is we're going to test how that 350 likes to act with this car right here on the line. Now, for yous who do not understand how to launch your car, listen to this very carefully. Right now, I am holding in my left analog, my left trigger. I'm holding in my left trigger, okay? Once you're holding in your left trigger, lightly push in your right trigger, and you'll lock in at 2 grand. Once you're locked in at 2 grand, you should still be holding both back triggers. Push A in. Once you push A, you can then release the left trigger. When you release the left trigger, hold down LB. When you hold down LB, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. You're gonna start boost launching your car to get your car to the RPM required for it to launch correctly. And for this car, you wanna be around 5 grand to 6 grand. That's your safe zone. Now, what you do once you're holding LB, A, and the right trigger is you lightly tap to start raising that RPM until you get to where you want to be at. And then once you're there, release A, release LB, and then that's how you launch your car. Now, of course, this shit's not going to look clean. It's not going to look the greatest right now because we're still setting this thing up. But I want you to understand the gist of how you launch it. There's a lot of you guys who want to be fast, but you do not use manual with clutch. The only way you're really going to be able to do it is manual with clutch. That's it. Otherwise, you'll be stuck to launching your car like this from 2 grand every single time. And you can do that. You can do that and you can get away with it. But when you run into somebody who actually really knows how to fine tune these cars, that is where you're going to run into your problem. So, from the rest of this video, I'm not going to explain a whole lot unless I see it to where it might be something that's a bit confusing, and I'll explain the reasoning behind why I did it. But for the remainder of this video, just pay attention to what it is that I'm doing and then the method that I'm doing, and then watch how both of these vehicles that you see start performing from what they were performing earlier on in this video. So, Pay attention. It's the master about to go to work, goddammit. The master is about to go to work. All right, so we're at a 350 first gear. That first gear is actually a little bit too peppy. We're going to turn that shit down here in a minute, but it's rain. It's perfectly fine. We're going to dial in third, and we're going to dial in fourth along with it, right? Now, these gears aren't going to be perfected. They're not going to be anywhere where they honestly need to be at. It's just going to give us a reference block to be able to change around and move as needed, but we still can see where the power band is at. Now, explanation coming here. Power band. With these cars, with this car being a big turbo car, it is imperative to keep it in the power band. So, power band on this car is about 68 to almost 7 grand. If you're around 6 grand or under 6 grand, what you're doing is basically running on damn near all motor at that point, okay? So it's not a bad thing. It's just you'll be wondering why somebody's coming around you on the drag strip at that point. You're not really using any boost at that point. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're keeping this inside the power band, you're also keeping it at a good boost level the whole fucking time. And now keep in mind, this is Forza logic. We're not talking about realistic shit. This is Forza logic. So 6 grand is your sweet spot. When you're shifting your gears and you're going from first to second to third to fourth, when you're doing those gear changes and your gear comes in, you don't want that gear coming in to where it's lower than 6 grand. You want it to come in where it's right about 6 grand or a little bit over, and you'll hear that power band where it's really, really hard. It's a lot of aggression coming out of the motor, and you can tell the difference because it won't sound like it's bogging when you get on throttle after you shift. It'll just basically sound like you never left out of the power band. So for instance, right, this shit's probably gonna sound kind of all over the place because of how I got it right now. See that? I touched 5 grand, but everything else is staying relatively close to 6. But the deeper you get into your gears, the closer you want to get to 6,500, I would say. The more you keep trying to rock around 6 grand, when you get to fourth and fifth, or I'm sorry, really fourth gear, third and fourth, the more your car will start to die out on. This car is very funny. You can get it to where it's fast, but it's very hard to get it to where it's competitive and it'll beat people. So I'm giving you motherfuckers my tips and tricks, man, my little secrets, man, shit. So all right, we'll do a 2 grand launch lights off. My transmission is still kind of dipped. Crooked, but oh well. It's gonna spin its ass, all I expected. Personally, I like my rebound stiffness a little bit softer and my bump stiffness in the rear a little bit softer. Now, the method that I use is a method that somebody else taught me, and the way they explained it is you throw a flat basketball on the ground. That flat basketball is going to conform to the ground that it hits. It's going to just lay there. It's not going to bounce back up. And on this game, that is essentially what you want your suspension to do with these cars. I can't speak about real life because I don't build drag cars in real life, nor have I ever. But on this game, your suspension is really key, and it's very important because it's really weird to set the suspension up on here to begin with. So my added method, and again, this is me giving you another tip, that is something I don't always tell people. This is how I set my dampening. And then when you do your dampening this way, it allows that car to react to the power that's being thrown at it, and it allows it to stay there in a moderate way and not basically want to distribute the power in a more aggressive way, so to speak. You don't touch this shit, of course. And then, like I said, we're locking the diff. The diff is always going to be at 100%. Want all that power going out, every last bit of it. You still got rain, bro? Nope.
No, the rain's clear. Just drive through.
Ooh. All right, so let me do a test hit real quick. Boost launched. Woo, shit. What the heck? Woo, wow. Look here, look like 350, the sweet spot for everything, huh? Yep, she's hazing. So she can actually be turned down. But I'm sad to say, but this build is actually already pretty much done. It's that damn simple and it's that easy. A little bit of fine tuning to make it a little bit better, but as of right now, this is pretty much hitting it on a goddamn nutshell. I actually am upset with myself that I got it this close that fast. Damn, Nino. Yeah, I spun like a motherfucker. Your ass got off that goddamn line hard as a bitch, boy. YouTube, we are out, man. It's We Up Gamers and Nino
Let's go,
Bags, man. We out here with some of the best drag tuners that y'all will ever come across. Believe that. Check me on Twitch at Nino Bags. Check me on TikTok at Nino Bags TTV. We out here, bro, and these videos are gonna be coming a lot more frequent, man. I appreciate the support. Remember, like, subscribe, comment.
With the doses and backs, Guantanamo still look to me, that is facts. It's Gigi by now till I take a nap. Cops taking photos of